Great, so let's get started. So welcome everyone to the School of Trades and Technology virtual information session. My name is Laura Gunning. I am a student recruitment officer based out of the Sutherland campus in Peterborough. Before we begin, I would like to respectfully acknowledge that Fleming College sits on the traditional lands of the Anishinaabe and Mississauga peoples. We offer our gratitude to our First Nations for their care of our earth and our relations. So with me today, I have Pam Stoneham, who is the Dean of the School of Trades and Technology, as well as Bailey Robinson, Admissions Officer. I would like to now turn it over to Pam for some welcoming remarks.
Thank you, Laura. It's a delightful to be here. I imagine I met many of you back at the beginning of March when we had our open house, and you came to the Fleming College School of Trades and Technology, and you saw our shop areas and met with our faculty. And at that time, we had no idea that we would be shifting to how we deliver programs in the fall. So thank you very much for joining us today so that we can give you some idea of what to expect.
Wonderful, thank you, Pam. So the way that this information session will work is we have gathered some questions that have come in from incoming students through our Ask Us email account. So I will start reading them, and it will be either Pam or Bailey that will take turns answering the questions. So I will start with you, Pam, please. So what can you tell students in terms of what course delivery will look like for the fall?
What we're doing is we've taken the approach to a Fleming safe approach where possible, we are delivering everything online. The School of Trades is a lot about hands-on, so we've had to make some adjustments to that so that courses that are hands-on have been shifted to the winter semester. So in some programs, we've pulled some theory-based courses into the fall and moved the hands-on to the winter semester. And in our plumbing program, we are starting all online, but we will shift to having shop classes in the second 7 weeks. So starting at the beginning of November, students would be coming to campus and using the plumbing shop for their courses. I should point out that a lot of you would have applying for other programs, and you would have just yesterday perhaps received your email that is let you know that we're not having a intake for the fall semester, and that you're going to be, in the cases of when it can be offered in the winter, you will be getting notification about those options. The reason why we did this is we have several programs that have an intake in the winter semester. So students that started this past January and were supposed to be in school from the first semester and then having their second semester through May, June, July, and August, we weren't ready to offer those in a fully online format. So we have had to postpone their second semester, and it's now being offered in the fall. And those students will be starting semester 2 online, like every program at Fleming College, where then they will have access to the shops starting November 2nd. So if you were applying for the carpentry program or the welding program, those shops now are going to be full with students that are in their second and third semester. And so that's why you're receiving the information about a deferred start to the winter semester. Thank you, Laura.
Thank you. So I have another question for you, just sort of following up on the first one. Could you expand a little bit in terms of how the hands-on component of programs that will be running in the fall is going to be delivered?
Yeah. So what will be happening in the fall, during the first 7 weeks, theory courses are taught. There'll be videos of what a lab exercise would look like, and the students see that. But they will not be accessing the labs that they have to do until after our reading week break. And so, like I said, coming back to the school in November, some programs that would mean that the labs are done at a compressed format. So if you would normally have had lab once a week, you may be scheduled to be in lab twice a week. That's for some programs. And other programs, they've created some virtual versions of the lab exercises so that those labs would get done during the first 7 weeks, and then the other labs built into the program would happen in the second half. I should also explain, so for example, we have a culinary program that we're going to start all online. And within that culinary program, there is a really neat approach that they're taking for creating a food service where a box of food for your lab exercises would get delivered to your location, and then you would do the exercise and share with your professor what you're doing. So that's one component, but also what is happening is a lot of the hands-on. So the second semester in that culinary program will be about being in the kitchen once we're back on campus. So you, at the end of the program, you will have had all the hands-on experience that you were expecting in a different, if we were under normal circumstances.
Great. I have another question for you, Pam. How are we ensuring that program quality is not compromised when we're delivering programs online?
So I alluded to some of that, but there's a lot of strategy, and the faculty have been working hard on developing the program they would have done in the face-to-face environment to an online environment, and they're working on that right now. And some of the strategies they're going to do is create an opportunity where the lecture is what we call synchronous, so it's happening real time. However, there'll also be videotapes. So if for some reason somebody either had a poor connection with their computer to the live version, it will also be available on the learning management system so that a student can see it after. That also is an excellent study opportunity. If you needed to go back to something that was talked about, you can reference it at a later date. Faculty will create virtual drop-in hours, so where they're basically saying you're invited into my office space through tools such as WebEx, Microsoft Teams, or the third version, just email or video conference. So there's lots of opportunities, and the faculty are working on strategies like that.
Great. So for a student that isn't local to Peterborough, say they live 3 hours away, if instruction does shift from online to in class, what housing options would they have at that point?
So Fleming College is closely monitoring the guidelines from the provincial government as well as the Ministry of Health surrounding all decisions made about gatherings. Therefore, a decision has not yet been made on how our residents will operate. You can be confident that we will be adhering to the guidelines sent out by the Ministry of Health to ensure optimum health for all students and staff. And we're going to be providing updates on the residents portal. So I recommend, and there's lots of, I could read out the whole website address. It's residents.flemingcollege.ca/starresportal, portal X/5C0C E357/1/1/home-home. These will be provided later, so you can find them. Information will be updated on the website on a regular basis. And I would like to point out, within trades and technology, when we say that a program is going to be fully online, even if there's a shift partway through and things open up a bit more, we are going to stay in that online format. So we will not, for a student in a fully online program, expect you to come up with a housing solution partway through. We're not going to make that change. But for programs where we're clearly saying that it's online for the first 7 weeks with face-to-face classes in the second 7 weeks, the expectation will be that you need to find some form of housing. And in the event that you weren't able to secure a room in residence, there's a number of off-campus housing options available to students to access. So again, go to the residence.flemingcollege.ca website for links to those. Great,
thank you. Switching gears over to you, Bailey, now, could you please explain a little bit about the deferral process for students who may be thinking about perhaps not joining us in the fall, this coming fall?
Hi, everyone. It's a pleasure to be virtually with you today. So the deferral question in this case has a few different parts to it. I know we have some domestic students on the call. We also have a lot of international students. Welcome, everyone. Traditionally, the decision to defer a program is not offered by Fleming College. We are prepared to welcome all the students in the fall with alternative delivery formats, and a great deal of time and planning has gone into offering seamless experiences for our students and ensuring all of the learning outcomes will not be compromised. If you are no longer interested in attending in the fall and your program is offered in the fall, as an international student, this process may be a little bit different. So I encourage you to reach out to international admissions at flemingcollege.ca to discuss your options with our international admissions officers. Domestic students, we are happy to look at your application for the next intake. However, seats are not guaranteed in a deferral situation. So what you would need to do is if you'd like to start in January, you need to go onto your Ontario Colleges Application Service portal. So that's OCAS, ontariocolleges.ca, and select the January 2021 intake. If you're hoping to apply for September of 2021, those applications will be open in OCAS in October. And at that point, we are happy to see your applications. Again, seats are not guaranteed, and we may have more waitlisted programs if we have a lot of students wishing to defer. The third part of this is, as Pam said earlier, unfortunately, a number of our programs in the School of Trades and Technology have been canceled for fall of 2020. So for those of you who have been in a canceled program, you will have received emails from admissions yesterday or Monday with the options available to you. So if you're not sure, email admissions@flemingcollege.ca if you're a domestic student, or international admissions at flemingcollege.ca if you're an international student, and we're happy to guide you through that process. So for the canceled programs, we are working on deferrals into January, or giving you some options there if your program's not running in January.
Great, thank you. The next question is also for you, Bailey. Could you speak a little bit about tuition? And there has been questions about paying less tuition since we're shifting to online delivery.
Absolutely. So for fall of 2020, the tuition fees will not be reduced because the learning outcomes and curriculum expectations are remaining the same. So in other words, your learning outcomes will not be compromised, as both Pam and myself have mentioned earlier. The delivery schedule will be adjusted to accommodate physical distancing protocols due to COVID-19, and courses relying on field trips, practicums, applied projects will have their schedules adjusted, and the course requirements will be delivered later in the semester or in later semesters. So if you had something that might be in semester 1, it may be moved to semester 2. Additional adjustments have been made to the course delivery to allow for smaller group sizes in labs, as Pam was talking about earlier. For the international students, all of the information regarding your tuition fees and the deadlines for your fees, including your tuition deposit, are found in your offer letter. So please make sure to check your offer letter. Everything you need to know about your tuition is in that letter. For the domestic students, the fall 2020 term has a $250 non-refundable deposit that is due on June 15th. Your remaining tuition is due on August 7th, 2020. So I encourage you to make sure that you're checking your fee notifications. These are visible on your student center if you are a domestic student. as long as you have accepted your offer of admission. If you haven't accepted your offer, that fee note will come in after you've accepted. Okay, so if you have any trouble seeing that, you're welcome to reach out to our student accounts team, student.accounts@flemingcollege.ca.
Thank you. Next question is also for you, Bailey. Will there be sports and recreation opportunities in the fall, given the current circumstances?
So we're currently reviewing the options and anticipated impacts of fall sports and recreation activities because of COVID-19, and we're looking at the return to campus with the Fleming Safe Plan and the return to sport plans provincially. There will be no athletic facility fee on your tuition for the fall 2020 semester, but we are working with city partners for students to have access to the Peterborough Sport and Wellness Center if you're local to Peterborough on a month-to-month basis at a student rate. So if you live local to Peterborough or local to Lindsay, you will have access to that at a student rate if you so desire.
Great. Next question is also for you, please, Bailey. When will timetables be available for students to view?
Timetables typically are sent to all of the students in August, so those should be posted in early August for you to view. Those will be on your My Campus portal and on your Student Center. There are a couple of things that need to happen before you can receive your timetable. First and foremost, you're going to need to pay your tuition. So once again, I urge you to check your fee notification if you're a domestic student, or keep an eye on your offer letter if you're an international student. The second thing is that you will need to meet all of the conditions of your application. So if you're a domestic student, this comes in on your offer letter. I believe the same is true for our international applicants. If you're not sure what your conditions are, or if your offer has conditions, please email admissions or international admissions, and we're more than happy to help you find out what those conditions might be. So if you're currently in high school, the condition is likely that we need you to finish up all of your courses and graduate high school, and then your high school will send us an updated transcript. If you're a mature learner, we may just be waiting on some more documentation for you, but we'll get that processed as soon as possible once it arrives with us. And then once all of that is completed, again, your timetables will be automatically generated in August.
Thanks, Bailey. So over to you, please, Pam. Are there resources to help students learn in an online environment, academically speaking?
Our library and tutoring and academic skills in partnership with the AES, which is Accessible Education Services, and the Learning, Design, and Support teams. So we have 3 organizations working together, have developed a new online resource for students, and it covers all facets of learning online. This web module helps students to navigate essential skills, strategies, and resources that you would need to thrive in an online environment. It includes how to set up your study space and navigate our learning management system, which is called D2L, and to connect with a tutor. And there's great online presentations and more. So the site for this is flemingcollege.ca.com/LOL-home under more applications in the student portal via the link found on the library website. So the Fleming College library website. The resources are excellent. It gives you strategies on how to be an online student, and worth having a look. I'd recommend it.
Thank you. And expanding on available support, what counseling, wellness, and mental health supports are available for students?
So all the supports that we've had available in a face-to-face environment, we're making available through multiple means. So counselors are available to engage with students either by email, phone, or video conference. Who need someone to talk with about issues that are impacting their academic success or personal wellness are available. Personal wellness counselors are available directly by phone for faculty or students by calling 705-749-5655 5530, extension 1440. Again, you can check out the Fleming College website for more information about counseling.
Great. And how can students access accessible educational supports, especially students who are coming in with an IEP from high school?
That's right. You have a documented medical, physical, psychological, or learning disability, you may be eligible for accommodations that help you to be successful academically. I recommend that you visit the website for information on how to register with Accessible Education Services. So if you hear the acronym AES, it's referring to our Accessible Education Services, and that is on our website. So it's department.fleming.ca/AES/register-with-AES. Good luck on that. Accessibility counselors are available, and students can book an appointment by contacting our receptionist, Jennifer Beauchamp. And her phone number is 705-749-5527. An extension 1527. There's also a toll-free number, and that number is 1-866-353-6464. You can also email Jennifer Beauchamp. That's jennifer.beauchamp@flemingcollege.ca. And all the way you can check out our website for more information. AES has a first of its kind. It's called First at Fleming, a summer transition program, and it's a virtual experience. So they will be offering a one-day informative virtual experience for all students registered with AES on September 1st, 2020. The focus will be on how to successfully transition from high school to post-secondary. And again, for more information about this session, please contact Jennifer Beauchamp. And should I read the number again, Laura? Yes.
No, we're going to share everyone's email, all the website links, so no one needs to. Do not worry. This will all be clearly available on our website. Yes.
All right. Excellent.
Thank you. And Pam, could you please speak a little bit about accessing health services while the pandemic goes on?
Yes. So health services is currently staffed and available for student consultation. Students are advised to call the health services with your questions, and where appropriate, nurses will be able to connect students to one of the college physicians via telephone. Students are welcome to leave a message at the number, and I'll read it out, but as Laura said, you will get it. For the Sutherland campus, the phone number is 705-749-5557, extension 5504. And even though we're the School of Trades and Technology, I'm just going to give you the Frost campus number as well so that you have it. That is 705-324-9144, extension 3232. Yes, that sums up basically the services that would be available if you were on campus, still available to you remotely.
Great. And final kind of support that we would like you to speak about briefly, please, Pam, is will tutoring be available, especially since most of the fall semester will be online?
Yes, we have an excellent tutoring and learning strategy department, and that is available. Their role is to help with study skills, time management, personal organization, etc. Anything that helps a student be a better student. and they're available via WebEx, and so this type of medium, booked through WC-online. You can also email Kathleen Conway, and her email is kathleen.conway@flemingcollege.ca, or Laura Gibson, laura.gibson@flemingcollege.ca if you require additional information. I'll just point out, just like in face-to-face learning, if you start to feel that you're falling behind, it's better to react sooner than later and reach out for support. There's a lot of support, whether it's through your faculty, through the tutoring and learning strategies. In college, it's very important to learn to advocate for yourself and use these services.
Thank you. And finally, Pam, what supports are in place for Indigenous students, or who are either First Nations status or non-status, Métis or Inuit?
There's one-on-one student advising available by phone, email, or by WebEx. So there's transitional support for new and graduating students. There's cultural workshops and resources, access to elders and traditional knowledge holders, advocacy and referral to services on and off campus, and WebEx student drop-ins. If you came during open house, you would have seen the physical center. So that is being recreated in an online format. So for more information on how to access student supports, please contact Mary McLeod Beaver, and her email address is mary.mcleod-beaver@flemingcollege.ca.
Thank you, Pam. The next question is for you, Bailey. How will a student know what else they need to do before classes start in the fall?
Thank you, Laura. So the major things that you have to do before your classes start, as I mentioned, is to pay your tuition and make sure that all of your conditions are lifted. But we know there's still a lot of questions that you will probably have about the fall. Student Experience will be holding an online orientation event for students attending in the fall. We'll be in touch regarding the details later in the summer as we get close to the September start. I see we also have a couple of questions about when exactly the September term will be starting. So I'm just going to go ahead and answer that quickly. That is September 8th is supposed to be the start of the September term. In addition, we will be having an online welcome days. So traditionally our welcome days are a few days in the summer where you can come and meet some of the staff at the campus, take a look around if you haven't done so already, pick up your textbooks, that sort of thing. It's a really great opportunity. And if we have any parents on the call, that's always nice for you to see kind of where your child's going to be at once we start. Because we're doing this virtually, that should be the week of July 13th. We're working on confirming the date, but details will be sent out soon.
Thank you. And could you give us just a brief overview of recent changes that OSAP has made because of the pandemic?
Absolutely. So for anyone receiving student assistance through OSAP, that's the Ontario Student Assistance Program, this year you'll have to go through a short information session once you've completed your applicant profile. And this is a series of pages with key details about OSAP and about your financial information. And there's a couple of questions that you'll have to answer before you can continue with your application. There have also been some changes to the needs assessment, in particular the federal portion. So this will increase the loan limit from $210 per week to $350 a week. The Canada Study Grant for all eligible full-time and part-time students, students with permanent disabilities, and students with dependents has been doubled. And the expected student and spousal contributions have also been waived. Some other big changes that we've had this year are to the gender option. So students who do not wish to identify or disclose their gender identity now have the option to select other if that is more comfortable to you. All of the correspondence for OSAP will now be online. So we hope that this will, one, save paper, and two, it's going to be a lot more functional with everyone working from home. and receiving all the information in a more timely fashion, because right now with COVID, there's a lot of delays. Last but not least, the permanent disability documentation regulations have changed a little bit. So in previous years, you haven't been able to receive your funding until we've received and approved all of your permanent disability paperwork. So now that has changed. So you will be able to have your funding released before that documentation has been approved.
Great, thank you, Bailey. So that concludes the pre-gathered questions that came in through email. So now I'm going to switch over to brief Q&A based on questions that are coming in through the chat. So Pam, I'm wondering if you could help answer a question. How will a student know which programs are fully online or only for the first 7 weeks? So where can a student find out what is fully online and what will be hybrid?
That should be on our website. For trades and technology, all courses are fully online except for the one starting this fall, except for plumbing. But we have several flow-through semesters that some are hybrid and are switching to face-to-face in the back half of the semester. So that information you can get from your coordinator. Actually, I should have pointed out before, any very program specific question that you have, your program coordinators are an excellent resource, and you can find their contact information on the Fleming College website. I recommend you reach out to them specifically.
Great, thank you. So Bailey, I'm wondering if you could help me answer some of these questions. So what if a course has been postponed? I'm assuming a program. What if a program has been postponed until the winter semester and you've already paid your fall deposit?
So if you have paid your fall deposit and we have canceled your program, so again, there is a list of canceled programs. You will have received an email either yesterday or Monday with that information. If you're not sure if your program is running, feel free to email admissions@flemingcollege.ca for our domestic students, or international admissions@flemingcollege.ca, and we'll be happy to provide you that information. But we will transfer your deposit. So again, the $250 is the domestic deposit. The deposit fee is different for our international students, but they will be deferred with your application to the winter.
Great, thank you. And Pam, could you specifically maybe mention a little bit about wireless information networking? So is it running in the fall, and what will it look like? Full-time online?
Yes, it's full-time online. So we'll be running semester 1 and semester 3 of wireless information networking, and it would be fully online. I see the question that there's an individual who's a third semester in the fall, and so no, you won't have to physically be present for for any of the 7 weeks. It will all be done remotely.
Okay, great. I do see several questions from international students, and I wanted to share this with you, that the best people to follow up regarding questions about your study permit and your visa and what the restrictions are imposed by Immigration, Refugee, Citizenship Canada is our international team. So you can reach them at international@flemingcollege.ca with questions about what your arrival in Canada may look like, if it's going to be allowed. As well, I also wanted to share with all students, I have many questions, which is great here on the chat, and there may be some that we are missing, or you may feel that may not have been addressed. So please email us. There is a general inquiry email. It's askus@flemingcollege.ca, and you can find this website. You can find this email address, on our main landing webpage. It is answered by student recruitment, and we will do our best to send your questions to the appropriate departments. Is there anything else that you would like to mention, Pam?
So just going through the questions, there was For programs that are starting in January, if it is a 4-semester or a 2-year program, these will be run as 4 semesters back to back. So for example, a student who may have applied for the welding fabrication technician program that would normally have started in the fall semester, we will start in January, and it would be a winter, a spring, summer, a fall, and another winter, with a graduation time same as if you had started in January. Started in the fall. So so that's our intention, is to basically try to catch you up at even though you're starting in January. And that would be this for any of the year programs in trades and technology.
Yes, I see a question here about HRAC. It's the same. So if it's running in January, then it would be 3 consecutive semesters, correct?
Yes.
And I just wanted to, maybe Bailey, you can help me with this question, please. If a program got canceled until winter of 2021, when will they pay tuition fees and residence?
So for anyone whose programs have been pushed back into January, first of all, if you're a domestic student, we've sent you an email and you need to let us know whether or not you would like to defer to January, because we aren't automatically going to make that assumption for you. So please email admissions@flemingcollege.ca and let us know that your intention is to defer. For students, I see there's a couple of questions from students in the trades fundamentals or the instrumentation and control engineering technician program. So for you, there isn't unfortunately going to be a winter 2021 intake. So you have been offered for domestic students the opportunity to select one of the other programs listed in those cancellation emails. So if that's your case, then please email us back and let us know which program you're more interested in. I know there's a question here from someone who's also left us a voicemail. So I promise to get back to you as soon as we're finished this session. I will be calling you. So the goal is that we can make that process smooth, and the tuition will be due usually in December for those. Unfortunately, I'm not sure on what the deadlines will be for international students at this time. I think there's still a lot up in the air, as we do have to follow the immigration regulations.
Thank you. So Pam, there's a question here about safety in the classroom. So when we go back to in-class face-to-face delivery, will there be safety requirements when we go back to classroom? I'm not sure if we have information at this time.
We don't have specific information at the time, but we are working on guidelines that are coming from public health as well as the provincial government. And right now, anything that we're planning is with the social distancing in mind. If there's any changes to that, it would be still in line with what the government is providing us as safe to do so. We are taking a very Fleming safe approach to classrooms, and what will be provided before anyone comes back on campus, this would be students and any staff, there will be a module that we will do online that actually talks about the safe practices at Fleming College. So there'll be some training, and everyone, to be free to come to school, you're going to have to do that module first.
Thank you. Bailey, another question for you. So if a student had their program canceled for this fall of 2020, will they have priority for the winter 2021 or following intakes in terms of reapplying?
So if we've canceled your program and it has been deferred into winter 2021, that option is available for you and you will automatically qualify for that deferral. So if you've received an email from admissions stating that you can move into winter 2021, respond to that email and we'll automatically move you into winter 2021. As I mentioned earlier, deferral into the next academic year, so that would be September 2021 or January 2022, is not an option that that has traditionally been offered by Fleming College. So you would need to apply again when that cycle opens in October for the domestic students. International students, your cycles are a little bit different, so you should contact international admissions for any questions there. For September 2021 intakes, you would receive the same consideration as any other new applicant. If you've already received an offer, then we do know you're qualified, so that makes it a little bit quicker. And we recommend you apply before the February 1st equal consideration deadline. That gives you your best chance for admission.
Thank you. I have a question here about how do we pay tuition with an RESP? Can you take that question, Bailey?
I can.
Thank
So
you.
if you have an RESP, you will need some paperwork filled out in order to go back to your bank. So if you send an email to records@flemingcollege.ca and let them know that you're playing with an RESP, they can let you know what forms they might need, or they can provide you with the appropriate forms to take back to your bank so that you can have your funds released.
Another question here. If students are transitioning to online learning, do textbooks still need to be purchased? I'm going to let you answer that, Pam.
Well, we're actually, yes, in some cases there's textbooks, but we're working with publishers for online versions of these textbooks as well. So that would be something to work with or check with your program coordinator for the specific answer to your program. But our bookstore will also have that information going forward. So we are working with publishers about ebooks instead of hard copy textbooks.
Great, thank you. And I just want to emphasize again for the questions in the chat, when they're very specific about programs, the best point of contact is your program coordinator when you're asking specific things about course curriculum, attendance, etc. And each program's coordinator is listed on the individual program's website, available through our main landing page. And I just also want to repeat again that for international questions, please contact international admissions at flemingcollege.ca regarding deferring programs or tuition payment. And if you're asking about visa-specific questions and postgraduate work permit-specific questions, you can email international@flemingcollege.ca. Let me see. So this is a fair question. There was a fee to apply to attend another, so I'm assuming they're referring to the $95 application fee. If students, so if a student is reapplying for fall 2021, they will have to repay that $95, correct?
As far as I understand, that's correct. I believe there is still some discussion going on with OCAS regarding that. So if that changes, we will be notifying you.
Thank you. And there are a couple of questions here about OSAP. They're very specific about OSAP and grants. So I just wanted to say, and again, all these email addresses and website links will be posted soon in the next few days. But if you have a very specific question about OSAP, please contact financial aid, our financial aid department. And their email address is fin, F-I-N, aid, finaid@flemingcollege.ca. Anything else that you would like to add, Pam or Bailey?
There's a question about 3-year programs and if they're starting in the fall. So they would stay as you would start the fall of 2020 and you do 2 semesters. You'd have the summer semester off and continue that way for 3 years. So that's not changing at all. And there was also a question on when would we return to classes on campus. We are planning to do our return to campus for the winter, January 2021. Again, we're monitoring the COVID situation at all times, and that's our plan.
I just wanted to address a question here regarding textbooks and how you can buy them. So both the bookstore at the Sutherland campus in Peterborough and at the Frost campus in Lindsay, they're open. They're taking orders online. So if you just type in bookstore on the search button on our main website, you will see how to order the textbooks through through online ordering. Obviously, not in-person purchasing.
If I can just jump in with another
Please
question
do.
here.
Yes.
There's a few different questions about bursaries and grants. So those applications were moved online last fall. So they should be continuing to be online for fall 2020. But if you have any questions specifically about bursaries, grants, or OSAP, as Laura said, please just email finaid, FINAID, @flemingcollege.ca, and they'll be happy to walk you through that process.
Yes. And our hope is definitely to keep in touch with students and keep updating students. So you will get emails from admissions, you will get emails from each school, I'm assuming as well. So I know that we're not going to answer every single question in this information session right now, but it's a good starting point. Would Bailey or Pam, do you want to add anything?
I think that's it from what I can see in my questions. Sorry.
That just reiterating what was said earlier, we have excellent faculty, and even though right now we won't be accessing our classrooms and our shops and our lab spaces, within your education period, you will get access to some excellent equipment, and a lot of work is going into making sure that if you're starting in a virtual environment, that that's picked up along the way, and we welcome you to Fleming College and expect you to enjoy your time with us.
Great. So thank you very much, Pam, for your time today, and thank you, Bailey, for your time as well. And thank you for everyone that joined us today. And as I said, you know, if there are questions that you still feel you have, or that perhaps we were not able to get to today, you can start by email ask us at flemingcollege.ca. Thank you all for your time today. Have a great day.